Talk about Steadfast. When did this thing get started? What was the idea behind it? When did you guys get it going?
Well, we've known each other for some years now. Right? Ever since I got drafted down here in Dallas, actually met through his father, and from there we met. And he was kind of like me. He was kind of like a little brother to me. And ever since then, we built that relationship. He, went to local high school here, graduated from UNT. So we were in a lot of the light sports. We grew up a lot, very, very similar as well, with a very Christian background, a Christian family. And he's always been in the training aspect. He graduated from UNT with a kinesiology degree. And that's always been his thing. And he's obviously and also in sports. So I've always been in sports my whole life. And one thing that we both have in common is some of the people that we grew up with. There's always been a lot of guys that didn't make it, and for whatever reason. Whether it been physical attributes that they didn't have, or didn't excel in, or just been in front of the mentorship aspect, they were lacking from that end, and not having the guidance that they needed in order to get to the next level. So being that there was that need out there, and that need in this area, in this community, we felt that if we collabed and came together and tried to put something that was in a positive light, we felt that would be a big hit on the community. And we'd be able to extend our reach. And there we go, the Be Steadfast. 1 Corinthians 15:58. Be Steadfast. And we felt that was something powerful. Obviously, we wanted to draw from the Bible for our personal motivation, and we're trying to put that message out there.
Gotcha. So how long ago did this open up? I know you just had the big ribbon cutting ceremony. Talk about that, and then get this going. Talk about the clientele, putting yourselves out there.
Definitely. It's been 3 months now. March 31st was our grand opening. It was a blessing to open up as soon as we had, and getting put together. We had our ups and downs, but through the grace of God, we managed to see our way through. And bringing something like this to the community was definitely a plus. And the clientele base that we try to reach out to, we feel like we can help those people. And with the clientele that we have coming in presently now, we cater everything to them. And with that being the background of our motive here, it's being able to be successful for them. But it's a long journey ahead for each and every individual. But there's always room for improvement throughout for every individual. So we start them at one spot, and they continue to move on to the next. But we stick with them every step of the way.
And what's the big goal here? Obviously, definitely get people fit, but I'm sure it's to come across with a bigger message as well. For you guys, what are you trying to portray?
Definitely. So, like I said, when we first sat down and started thinking about this idea of putting this facility together, we thought back, on our childhood and our development growing up in the areas in which we grew up in. I grew up in the hood in Seattle. He grew up, down in Houston actually, and like the guy who originally took me to organized football, dude I used to play street ball with, pole to pole or touchdown. He took me to his first practice. He's in prison for life for murder. And there's so many stories like that I have of people that I grew up with playing with that just if they had the mentorship aspect of things, they had the physical attributes, they had the skills, they were way better than I was, but they made bad decisions. And it's just like where obviously they didn't get it from home, or they had the guidance at home, but they decided not to listen to their parents, which we know a lot of teenagers decide to do. But giving people an outlet, a positive outlet to people, to people like ourselves to guide them in the right direction, and also help them physically as well, and give them some things that we've done. We've been there, we've done it, and we've been successful with it, and pairing those two things up to help them get to the next level. Whether just getting them to college, getting them a scholarship, whatever it may be, but giving them a second chance at life that they might not have had.
So the physical aspect, that's just one part. So really, mind, body, soul here is kind of what we're going for. And talk about some of the things you put them through. I see the boot camps, I see the things that I certainly can't do right now, but what do you have them doing?
Well, Jared will give you the rundown here. I mean, from the time that you step in the door, everything is catered and specialized for you.
Basically, we bring each and every individual in, we assess them. So you get a full body composition, body percent fat, water mass, lean muscle mass, that whole scale. You come in, we actually sit you down, we look at all those numbers, kind of go over your fitness goals. See where do you want to go, what level do you want to reach, you know, in the time frame that you have set aside. And we tailor that program to the client. Everybody's different. Every body frame's different. People have different fitness goals. So me personally, I think that drives me individually to touch different genres of fitness levels. And being able to tamper in with, you know, somebody that wants strictly weight loss, somebody that strictly wants, you know, strength training, all that kind of coincides with each other. You know, when you lose weight, you know, strength is key. And then vice versa, losing weight, strength causes you to lose weight, you know, gaining muscle mass. But we get every person that comes in the door, you know, set aside with their own schedule, their own regimen, and watch them move forward from there.
So fitness and performance for individual people. And also too, that's biblical too, taking care of your temple, making sure that you have the best possible output as you can. For you, how important is it? Because you know, sometimes we know how it goes. You get in the league, you get busy, you get family, you got stuff going on. But for you, you made sure you had time to make sure other people are benefiting. Talk about why that's important to you.
I mean, very much so. I mean, I had a lot of help growing up. Obviously, I had a great mother, had a great father. Brother and sister were there, and I had a great supportive family. Everybody doesn't necessarily have that option. You know, I was blessed to have the community behind me. A lot of people don't have that option. So being here, that we both currently live in this area now, here in the Flower Mountain area, you know, this is an area, you know, that's not like what we grew up in. You know, there's a lot more money in this area than, you know, what we grew up with. But you know, money, as we all know, doesn't necessarily solve a lot of problems. Sometimes it creates a lot of problems. So for the people who are in this area, some of the high school athletes growing up, they have a lot more temptation because they have the money to go out and buy all these drugs. They have the money to go out here and buy, you know, some of these fast cars, and do whatever they want to do, and make a lot of spare time to go make wrong decisions. So being able to be here and give back to community, give them some guidance, because as we know, like I said earlier, a lot of these kids are not really listening to their parents. They're not really listening to their siblings. They don't want to hear what they have to say. But when you put them in a positive environment, you know, we go in there and we allow for the parents to entrust in us, you know what I'm saying, to be able to guide their kids in a way in which they can't at this point in time in their lives. That gives them the ability to.
This here, we kind of say our strength section. We've got, you know, your kettlebells here. You can do a lot of different exercises with those or whatnot, but most things that some people may not be familiar with are our power blocks. We focus, you know, with our power blocks. You see a lot of dumbbells in facilities, anywhere from 5 pounds on up to about 90 pounds, and maybe a little bit more. But it takes up abundance load of space.
Let me ask you this: somebody comes in the door and say they're not in the best shape. Do you still just customize for them and say, okay, we're going to get on this plan?
Definitely, very much so. I mean, like I said, everything that we do, I mean, from the time they walk in, they sit down, they go over the fitness goals, go over what their mission is, you know, what they're trying to achieve. You know, he does, you know, body composition, finds out where their numbers are, so that that's something that we can always track and find out their progression. And then we, you know, after you assess their fitness levels, then you're able to put together a plan for them to see, okay, what can they handle? You know, what is are they trying to do strength training? Okay, they need to do a lot more weights. Are they just trying to lose weight? Okay, we don't really need them to touch weights. You know, we have all the weight equipment that you possibly need. You know, this is the same equipment that we have, you know, at the NFL level. You know what I'm saying? So as far as the capabilities, we can, you know, we can tend to everybody, you know, the top fitness levels. Or we can start off, you know, with the basics. You know, we got the stuff, you know, we got mats, we got bands, we got jump ropes, physio balls, you know, BOSU balls, med balls, step ups, kettlebells, dumbbells, squats. You know, absolutely any and everything that you would need to get right, no matter what your goal is, we have it there. And that's pretty much, you know, what our intention was when we sat down, and we were very, very detailed when we was like, okay, what equipment do we need in here? You know, there's a whole bunch of other places that just stuff their facilities with a gang of equipment, and just to make it look good. You know, when you're really just cluttering up your spot, you're not even using most of that equipment. Everything that we have in here, we use.
Do you see a difference when people go through the program for a little bit or go through boot camp and get some training? Do you see their confidence level change? Do you see everything? Because that goes hand in hand, right? You know, your fitness level, how you feel mentally, that goes hand in hand.
Correct. I always tell people, you know, mental first, you know, physical second. When you walk in the doors, that was an inspiration, that was a motivational aspect or a hump you had to overcome right there. You walked in the door, you said, hey, I'm looking for something, you know, to further me in my fitness levels. So you came to us, all right, out of your own inspiration. That right there boosts your self-esteem. And me personally, being a shorter frame, you know, I've had many of those obstacles in front of me. So yes, being able to be stronger, you know, increase my endurance, set small goals for me every week. Accomplishing those, confidence level skyrockets through the roof. And I think every individual has that. You know, you got to crawl before you walk. You know, you start at one place, and you know, you say, hey, I want to end up here. So as you make those small baby steps and overcome those small little obstacles.
Wrapping up, give me a short-term goal, long-term goal. It could be football, it could be you know, the center. What's the goal going forward?
I feel like one of our goals is to definitely be a resource to the community. Be a resource to not only the you know, the younger crowd, but the older crowd as well. We both feel like, you know, knowledge can be exchanged through younger kids, older kids, and vice versa. I think overall, we'd like to be able to grow and make this into a facility that is, you know, nationally known, and not only just for physical aspect, but also mental aspect, and allowing people to say, okay, you know what, I know my kids are going to train hard there, but they're also going to leave with a positive mindset and influence once they leave here. So, you know, for us to grow, you know, we want our facility to grow, and a clientele base, and, you know, from any genre, you know, from their demographic, from people coming in, you know, the doors are open. So we want to be involved in this whole community and let this be a wave, you know, and be steadfast.
Isaiah, how about you?
The same. I mean, we obviously starting off really small. You know, our location is 1,500 square feet, but this is the first location. You know, and we're not about branching out. You know, people get a taste of success, and they automatically want to branch out and spread out, and they feel like they're touching as many people as they can, when in reality they're really losing sight of what they originally started out to do. And our goal is to really have the biggest positive effect over everybody. You know, like I said, that's our target market is obviously these high school athletes. But I mean, majority of our clients right now, I think we have maybe 5 high school athletes, and everybody else is really, you know, over 30, over 40, and they come in here, they're doing weight loss, they're just doing regular, you know, health and management. So we're reaching out to everybody. You know, so when we get to the point where we decide, we know we need a bigger facility, we need to branch out, we're going to do so in such a manner where it's well thought out, and we're not going to lose our mind, we're not going to lose our goal or our brand trying to do so.
Makes sense. Cool. Thanks, guys.